Hello and welcome to One Slot UIM, where I will be playing UIM with just one inventory slot. The rest is taken up by those flyers from Mr. Ali, the leaflet dropper over here. So yeah, let's get this started. We are free to play for now, and I don't think this will ever change because this account build looks to be the most tedious thing ever. So I saw this post first by Mod Nin from Jagex on Twitter, and he had this idea of playing one slot UIM, and he made it actually and played it for a little while, and he filled his entire inventory with those flyers with just one inventory slot open, and he tried to gather some items. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna copy him one-to-one. We're gonna send it. I'm gonna be free to play for now, and maybe we will be able to kill Obor and spend our one inventory slot for a key, but that's far, far, far in the future. For now, my first goals is training up some combat. I actually can train all of the combat styles, the best being melee and ranged. For magic, if I wield a Staff of Air and keep Mind Runes in the inventory, we can cast Wind Strike, and that's the best spell I can cast, I'm pretty sure. So, that's... Oh, actually, what about Wind Blast, huh? Where's Wind Blast? Blast spells? Wind Blast. Yes, Wind Blast would work too. Alright, I have a ton of theory crafting to solve, as you can see, so give me a second and I'll come right back to you. So, while we only have one inventory slot, we can actually equip any item we get, so that is crucial, but we have to get them one at a time. So I wanted to try talking to the melee combat tutor and getting a training sword and shield. So we got the training sword, and after we equip it, we got the shield. Alright, so we are already wielding something, and the big thing, actually, probably the most limiting thing will be GP. So how shops work, and this is actually what Nin said too, and that's just crazy to me that this is gonna be a restriction. For example, hammers cost 1 coin, and if we have exactly 1 coin in the inventory, we could trade it for a hammer. It would go into that slot, but if we don't have enough, we obviously cannot buy it. And if we have too much, we also cannot buy it. So I have to get exactly the amount of GP to buy an item, and then we can have it. So I actually have no idea what I want to buy. I know we can do sheep shearer if we get our hands on 1 coin. Because if you shear a sheep, you can get the wool on the ground, but that's for the future. For now, I'll see if there is anything I can buy for 20 gold, because that's the value of this emerald, and we will see. Let's see if we can get our UIM armor by utilizing a similar... Yes, let's get the helmet, the armor, and the legs. Alright, so we have our basic setup to train melees. I know we can claim runes also, and they will drop to the ground, so that is good as well. And I think the same works with the ranged training bow and arrows, so I think we are pretty set. I guess I'll just go train combat, and my first little goal is trying to obtain a bead from an imp, and we'll try to see if we can trade it in one at a time to maybe get the Amulet of Accuracy, and that seems to be the best amulet I can get, because others require amulet molds and just too many items. So, combat training time. Cook's assistant done, and I'll go now to kill chickens. Just wanted to have this a little higher cooking level, because we will be cooking all of the raw ones, and you'll see in a second why. We got 1 cooked chicken, and then we can trade the shop assistant to sell it for 1 coin and spend that 1 coin to buy shares. And go shear a sheep, drop the shares and pick up the wool, go spin it into a ball, trade it to Fred the farmer, and get another chicken to get the shares back. Very, very efficient. and do that 20 times. Okay, that's so... I should have checked it before, but there's a sheer spawn right here. I guess that's more convenient for me. Let's turn in the last ball of wool to Mr. Fred the Farmer over here. And I'll be honest, sorry if this video is a little chaotic, but I've decided I will be bonding up this character. I'm just having way too much fun that I should have on an absolutely tedious account like this. So I decided to scratch all of the free-to-play goals and the free-to-play restriction. I want to explore pay-to-play and see whatever I can do with just one inventory slot and a dream. So yeah, here's my alt. I will be bonding up this character in a second, and we will go and hopefully do a bunch more quests. So the first thing I did with my newfound membership was spend the 60 gold to sail to Karamja and then to Ardoin, where we walked to the Grand Tree, and I started doing agility just so we have our run regening a lot faster. And after I got to level 10, I switched to Draenor, and at level 30 I decided to finish off at Alcarid for a little because we got 30 marks of race, and we are here by Grace and her dog Mark, and we can spend the marks if we have exactly the amount required to buy a piece. So we're gonna buy graceful gloves. This is not a perfect item because I would actually prefer boots, because we can get decent glove upgrades relatively easily, but this will be pretty useful for now because there's a lot of running in my immediate future. The goal of this episode will be to complete Priest in Peril. And yes, you're thinking correctly. We're gonna walk from Varrock to the temple 50 times back and forth. Rune mystery is done. Hit the chickens for a bit, so now I think it's the best time to go do Stronghold of Security and get our 10,000 gold so we can afford a weapon upgrade. Now that we have our 10,000 gold, here's the entire process of buying a weapon. The Mithril Scimitar costs 1,040 and we need the exact amount, so I'm gonna use this coffer at Last Man Standing and deposit 9,000. We can only withdraw and deposit in multiples of thousands, so we have 40 coins to go. Then I used minigame teleport to Lumbridge. We're gonna drop our coin stack, pick up the iron dagger, equip it, and pick up our coins back and run to the general store. And at the general store we drop our coins, unequip our dagger, sell it, and it sells for 14 GP, so we can do this one more time. And then we'll have 28, and for the rest, we can just pickpocket men. We need 12 GP, and that is divisible by 3. So opening this coin pouch gives us 3 coins, and that's how we're gonna get our 12. I actually didn't take into consideration that we need 10 more GP to pay for the Alcarid Gate, but that's okay, we can just run the long way around. And there we go. 1,040 GP exactly. Let's buy the Mithril Scimitar. And back to melee training, because I would like to get 20 defense as well before we camp sandcrabs for a while. I got a beat while training defense. Let's see if we can turn it in one by one. Oh, come back when you have them all. Unlucky. So, seems like Imp Catcher is uncompletable. And 20 defense, so you know what that means. Now that I'm armed to the teeth, I wanted to continue with training combat for the dog at Priest in Peril, but first I wanted to test out one thing. Let's see if we can actually complete Druidic Ritual by bringing the meats one by one. I really don't have high hopes, but, well, if I don't try, we'll never know. Here goes nothing. Come on. I guess we'll just have to play without Herblore. some melee training on sand crabs done, and I think we are ready to start Priest in Peril. I also took a closer look at the quest guide, and it seems like we'll need to do some juggling with some keys and a bucket, but we'll see when we get there. Temple Guardian defeated, easy fight. In the next part we're gonna have to kill some monks of Zamorak, and they hit pretty hard with magic, so I'm gonna sell all my armor. We would have to sell it anyways for the next step to weigh as little as possible, so why not now? And I'm gonna coffer all the GP we get from it. The damage from this dude was really spooky and they regened really hard, so I had to resort to flinching, but we got the kill and now it's time to juggle for a bit. Let's fill the bucket and run back quick because our iron key is waiting for us upstairs. And now we just have to juggle this to Drizzle. With the water blessed, the vampire threat is no more, and now's the time for the part everybody's been waiting for. I will be walking back and forth from this place to Varrock 50 times to bring the required essence. That's gonna be just super great. Okay, so I guess we better get started. Let's mine our first essence piece. And let's run to Paterdomus. In the meanwhile, I'll talk a little about the theory crafting I did. Because of course, if this could be sped up a little, I decided to try to think of methods to speed it up, and I thought of two. Sadly, both of those are not practical or just straight up impossible for this. First one was using a Chronicle to teleport back to Varrock, and that would shave off about half the time, just the walking back. The problem with that was if I got the book, then you have to charge it with those cards, and that would require me to use an item on another item in the inventory, and I cannot do that. The second idea was a little more complicated, and it involved using a looting bag. So the idea was for me to go to the wilderness and kill a monster to obtain a looting bag, and then set it to open, meaning that whatever item I would pick up, it would go straight to the looting bag. And then I would get 28 unnoted essence in the looting bag, and I would go here and suicide near Drizzle, so the contents would spill out, and then I would run back here and turn them in one by one to him without doing all the trips, so like 2 trips for 28 essence. And as you can see, he's not here, he's still up in the tower, so I gotta go talk to him. We managed to get Drizzle down here, and I just wanted to finish that the problem with the looting bag method was that it would require a monster that drops unnoted essence to be in the wilderness, and there is just no such monster, so we are out of luck. And we have to do the standard walk. Alright. One essence turned in, 49 to go. And this is it. After 2 evenings, pretty relaxed evenings, if I'm gonna be honest, of walking back and forth from Paterdomus to Varrock, we have completed Priest in Peril with just 1 inventory slot on a UIM, and we unlocked access to Mauritania. So if I'm being honest, I think that I'm not gonna make this into a series. I had my fun on the account. I felt like doing something really out there, and seeing the post from Mod Nin about playing a UIM with just 1 slot fit that criteria perfectly. And I think I am done with this. I am open to playing more on this account because I obviously theory crafted more and would like to do a little more. if somehow there is just overwhelming support and a bunch of people that want to see me suffer further on this account, then yeah, sure, I'll make this a series and we'll explore whatever we can get with just one slot. But for now, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this. Thank you to Modnin for your beautiful brain in coming up with a challenge like this. And I just hope you have a wonderful day.